What's going on, guys? Jacob here, and we are with the human meatball. Alicia Cosoletto never gets old, even if we do have to take it twice because some body decides to call me during this video clip, and we use the best of technology with my iPhone 10. But we're going to keep it up in 2 minutes. So, leg press for hypertrophy. Don't make these common mistakes. Number one, feet too high, too wide. Any form of variation in your stance width will likely decrease the amount of force that you can produce and therefore tension that you can load onto your quads. That's obviously not the goal or the objective when we're using this machine. We want to build bigger quads to A, be better on stage, isn't that right, Alicia? Or B, transfer into our squat or other squat variants. So we want to assume a stance that closely mimics how we would position our feet on a squat. And again, this is going to be dependent on your individual structure and function, so how your mobility. For example, if you have very tight ankles, you might need to put your feet up a little bit higher so there's less progression at the knee. If you've got great ankle mobility, you might come a little bit lower, and that way you can load up the quads a little bit more, but a position that's comfortable, that allows you to produce the most amount of force. Another mistake people make is they'll try to use the machine for a completely different purpose, such as twisting to the side, and like, I don't even know what this is. Just perform the movements on the equipment as it was intended, and that is with a foot position that's comfortable, allows you to produce the most amount of force. Big thing to look out for, safety first here at JPS. As people flex at the knee and the hip, obviously their pelvis can tuck under if they're not tight. We want, Alicia, stability and control through the pelvis. So big breath into the belly, pulling in nice and tight to the handle so that your pelvis isn't rotating, and then coming down. And a good cue to focus on here is to push through your midfoot and then through your toe. So big breath in, bracing tight as we come down, pressure through the midfoot, and then pressing up through the toe. As always, we want our knees to be tracking out over our toes, not letting them collapse in. And again, just make sure that as you come down that your heels are staying on the platform. Press, and if they're coming up, you either need to focus on driving through your midfoot, keeping that balance of tension through 3 points of contact, 1, 2, and 3, or simply adjust your foot position because you don't have the ankle mobility to come all the way down. Now, in terms of range of motion, try to get as low as you can before your pelvis starts to move around or you'll lose complete control of the repetition, and that's going to be dependent on how you're put together and where you have strength and control through these various ranges. So guys, I hope that was useful. I hope it was informative. If you do this properly, I cannot guarantee that you will get as big and jacked as Alicia, but you can only try.